point of this cap if you're gonna use bottled ink? Why is Wax Ed the only one not naked? Ed is probably the most naked of the three.
Give it to me, Eddy!
That's what she said.
We got us a live one!
The hell does slive mean? According to Urban Dictionary, it means the trading of alcohol, and these kids aren't old enough to drink. It's incredible that, as runny as this oatmeal looks, none of it falls out of this hole. As the camera cuts, it looks like there's more sand in the top half of the hourglass. Crayons melting this quickly is one thing, but where did all the paper go?
Which one's a dummy, huh?
Well, one is a wax sculpture, and the other is Sarah's best friend. I think they can both pass for dummies. Also, Jimmy is in his underwear in a crazy pose and nobody's laughing at him. But when he was given a wedgie in that one episode, everyone was laughing at him. I don't understand what these kids perceive as comedy.
A wallet!
Any cash?
Does Eddy not recognize his own wallet? Also, I always figured this was a wallet chain on Eddy's pants. Has he not been using it? The ID doesn't have Eddy's full name. How exactly does Kevin find out his middle name? And why wouldn't it have Eddy's full name? Also, what 12-year-old boy writes in cursive? Also, Rethink Avenue is where the writers should have gone to think of a much less mean-spirited episode. This wallet, nor Kevin's fingers, is moving in the way of the animation style.
That is your middle name, right? Skipper?
Even though Kevin is a giant dick in this episode for blackmailing Eddy about his middle name, I feel like not enough is said about Eddy's parents both being able to agree on giving him a middle name like Skipper. But at the end of the day, Kevin's still a giant dick in this episode. This looks like a pretty interesting group conversation. With the exceptions of Sarah and Jimmy, nobody's making eye contact with anybody. It's a shame we don't get to hear what's going on.
Buy me a soda!
Kevin makes Eddy buy him a soda, and Eddy just gives him the money for one. Kevin still has to do the work and buy himself a soda. So, Johnny can't see through his eyes if they're not attached to his face? You're telling me Toy Story 3 logic is all bullshit? And that film still won 2 Oscars? Also, how come Jimmy comes out nude but not Johnny? I'm not complaining, just a little curious. Sarah and Jimmy don't fall into a wood chipper.
Some X and O's! X's and O's!
X's and O's.
Had nobody who worked on this show ever heard of tic-tac-toe? Kevin looks a lot bigger than Sarah and Jimmy here.
What truth?
That you're a bitch. X's always go first. Ed hasn't a clue how to play this game with Double D, but he seemed to know the ropes back when he was playing it with Jib. Somebody get Jib back! This kid's getting stupider without him! Also, Double D could have won with either of these 2 incomplete games on the floor. I don't know which of these 2 is more clueless about the game. How does Eddy turn his 3 measly hairs into a full head of hair? Or is it his skin? Is Jimmy's hair his skin? At first, Eddy's wearing Jimmy's whole attire except his shoes. He's still wearing his shoes. Now he's wearing Jimmy's shoes. Double D and Ed's pencils make 2 different colors and neither one is the color of the lead. And I've sinned the pencils for doing that before, and if you're gonna do it twice, you're gonna get sinned twice. I don't care what Kevin's got on Eddy. Not consensual, not okay! And it's really fucked up that Kevin wanted Eddy to do this.
Oh man, you're sick.
I could say the same thing about you, Kevin.
Dude, that wasn't even remotely funny.
Neither is taping 3 people to a fence and chucking fruit at them, but you still laughed at that. Never forget, Kevin. You know, that's the second time I brought that episode up, and as horrible as that episode was, at least it had 1 or 2 funny parts. This episode barely has any. If It Smells Like an Ed is still worse than this one, but it did make me think.
Which sounds like Dipper, rhymes with...
Shut the fuck up!
My middle name is Marion.
We learn Double D and Eddy's name in just 1 episode, but have to wait a whole nother season to learn Ed's. And that season almost didn't happen.
Double D's middle name is Marion!
Putting humiliation on your closest friend to get the humiliation off of yourself. There's no hard way to explain it. And he's just an asshole. What were the writers thinking?
Marion the librarian!
The name Marion might be unmanly, but it's also pretty unmanly that these 2 boys have a knowledge of musical theater. Pretty hypocritical. How about one big last sin for everyone being an asshole? Ding!
He who commands the boat